And wow, here we are again. This is Monday. That's September the 22nd, 2025. I'm live, you're live, we're live, and I got something entirely different that I want to do tonight. I guess if you give this a title, you would call it Freedom on the Ropes, Constitution Under Siege, Part 1. That's because this is a Part 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 story. I want to read it right from the paper because, frankly, when I ad lib, I forget things and I screw it up. God knows I've been screwing shit up for 70 years. All right, here we go. Where is my text? There it is. Okay. The federal government is continuing to press their boots into the groins of America. I've got to ask you, freedom. Where is it going? Where has it gone? U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, or Bondi, whatever, is stepping over the bounds of anyone's legal or moral authority. She recently declared that her team will, and I quote, absolutely, end quote, target people engaging in hate speech. In a vague and ambiguous statement, she also said, here's your quote, there's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie Kirk, in our society, end quote. She said this on a recent episode of the Katie Miller Pod, and that was last Monday. Well, Bondi, she said a lot of really stupid shit, okay? She also said, we will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech. You hear what I hear? You hear this? This is hate speech coming out of her mouth. We already have hate crimes that claim to read your mind. So I guess hate speech goes along with it, doesn't it? Goodbye, freedom. What this bitch is saying is dangerous, even treasonous. This is an attack on the most basic God-given freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States. Understand, please, unless speech involves a viable threat to life or limb or property, like crying fire in a crowded theater, it cannot be punished because, like it or not, this is free speech. If it does not involve a viable threat to life, limb, or property, if it isn't crying fire in a crowded theater, like it or not, it's free speech. Pam, it seems, is woefully ignorant of the very Constitution that she swore to defend. She fails to hear what's spilling out of her own mouth. Pam, dumbass Bondi, needs some schooling. Perhaps a correspondence course in, I don't know, constitutional law would benefit this woefully unqualified person. A litany of conservatives, centrists, independent thinkers, myself, even Democrats have been quick to criticize Bondi's remarks. Hold on, I got a burp. I love that button. A recent post on X in this, okay, it said it best, and it was a quote from Charlie Kirk. Hate speech does not exist legally in America. Period. It doesn't. I mean, she's trying to go after people who insult the late, great Charlie Kirk. God, we miss him. But in so doing, she's going right against what he preached, because he was right and she's wrong. This woman wants to prosecute people under laws that don't even exist yet. Remember that no such law, even if it was passed, which is highly doubtful, would ever make it to the Supreme Court, let alone pass if it did, which it won't. Of course, Bondi seems to think that she can just make shit up as she goes along. Oh, this is a woman. After taking a verbal shellacking, and she got the hell beat out of her, Bondi came back and clarified that she will target hate speech that crosses the lines into threats of violence, end quote. Good for you so far. And she said, it is not protected by the First Amendment. That's correct. If it crosses the line into threats of violence, action or violence, then you got crimes that you can go after. Now, obviously, this is in reference to the age-old standard, as I said earlier, of crying fire in a crowded theater. Given her previous outbursts and on-the-air comments, I wonder if she knows anything at all about the Constitution. Oh, yep, it's nice that she understands this. She probably pulled out a pocket copy, that little pocket Constitution, put on her reading glasses somewhere along the way and went, oh man, I've been talking out my ass. Wisely, but a little bit late, she backpedaled. I think today they say she walked it back. Same thing. Here's what she said. Here's her quote. Another drink of water, just a minute. Oh, that felt good. Here we go. Quote, you cannot call for someone's murder. She said that. Okay. She went on. You cannot swat a member of Congress. You cannot dox a conservative family and think it will be brushed off as free speech. These acts are punishable crimes, and every single threat will be met with the full force of the law. Good for you. Yay, you did something right. Oh my God, I'm happy to hear it. Well, that brings me into this one. Very recently, talking head Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, you know the guy. He was fired, and his late-night, low-rating TV show was canceled. Well, it only lasted about a week, and I don't know how he got back on the air. He'll be back on tomorrow. Well, this wasn't a matter of violating free speech when they sacked him, because it happened entirely within the private sector. That means the government doesn't own the company. A private sector company has every right to sack anybody whose speech goes against their rules, their mores, their regulations, contracts, or even conscience for that matter. It's private business. They got a right to do it. You screw up, you're gone. Many states, you don't have to fire for cause. Well, Kimmel gave them plenty of cause because his already spiraling ratings are about to hit a cliff. Maybe they'll turn around and sack him when his ratings just die. His contract's good to the end of the year or end of next year. But they can always pay him, buy him off, and say, take a hike, Mike. Well, understand, that's for private companies. That's for private sector firms. But for government offices or departments, such as the Federal Communications Commission, for them to fire somebody for speaking out in a way that offends others, that's wrong. It's wrong for any element of government, any arm of government, any department of government to deprive anyone of income, earnings, property, freedom, or reputation based on speech that the agency or government officials just don't seem to like. That wraps up part one, Freedom Under Siege. Stay tuned tomorrow, same bat time, same channel, and we'll go to part two. It's getting deeper. We're going past Kimmel. We're going to go into the systemic and systematic destruction of the Bill of Rights. And I'm going to show you how 8 of those amendments to the Constitution have already been ripped to shreds. I'm Max. Please listen to this, play it for your friends, click your likes, and subscribe.